Guys, back at it again with another one as we've jumped right into another game. We are going up the Braves against the Giants. Should be a very intriguing matchup for us, as we are going to get a look at another team that is in that Dodgers ballpark, in that caliber of a team. Good to see if we can have some good games against them with a lot of their guys being hot. Hopefully we can start making that push towards maybe becoming that wild card seed, proving ourselves against a very good opponent. With the only person struggling on that Braves team is Ozzie Albies, hitting 194. Definitely don't like to see that, but we love to. Home game for us, so definitely like being around the home fans. You can see them all filling the seats up as we get ready for this big time game at Oracle Park. We are a couple games under 500. Definitely looking to first get to 500 and hopefully getting a few games above it. Looking at the series split, we won game 1, Atlanta did win game 2. So like I was saying, it's a very proven game. Definitely want to try to win the series and prove to the rest of the major leagues that we can beat top talent, top teams like the Braves. Webb, who is struggling very heavily on this season, don't really know what it is. The whip isn't too bad at 1.24, but the hits is starting to pile up. Giving up too many big bombs with that 4.99 ERA. And it doesn't help that Tim Anderson is top 5 in home runs this year, hitting very well lead off as he does foul a pitch off to get to the 3-2 count. Definitely want a little bit more from Webb. Definitely want him to be our future ace as we send him swinging on that one. Can't catch up to the inside heat. Definitely good when he's working that heat sinker changeup. Heat sinker changeup combination. Speaking of the changeup, he gets ready to throw one. That's a sinker, I mean. Great pitch. With the fastball coming in 95 and the sinker having great movement on it, definitely hard for hitters to time that up. Von Grisham, another guy who normally would hit lead off and normally is a 300 caliber hitter, does get a nice line drive through the middle to get them on first base. Like I said, it's going to be a tough outing for Webb. Not pitching too great lately. Going up against one of the top 5 hitting teams in the league with Acuna, Michael Harris, Von Grisham, Tim Anderson now added, Austin Riley, Matt Olson. The list just goes on. And they picked up Sean Murphy. As we do see at the bottom of the screen, we did demote Rainer Arias back down. And while that's happening, Wade is making a blunder, trying to get the double play. If for some reason did not want to just pick the ball up and throw it, he felt like he had to be on the move, which made it even harder of a throw, making it even worse as you watch the replay. Just goes right out of the reach of Luciano's glove. Hate to see unforced plays lead to more base runners, but now we have a guy on first and second. A foul for Matt Olson does leave him at a 1-2 count. Everyone pitch him away, as just in real life he's been showing his power, and that's what I'm talking about, man. That sinker just sinking away from him. He had no chance on that one. Sent him chasing. Marcell Ozuna, surprisingly hitting 325 on the young season. Hasn't shown as much pop, that's a surprise. He's hitting a higher average than Tim Anderson, but Anderson has twice as many home runs. And Anderson's not even known to be a power hitter. So definitely still a tough 5 hitter to swing against, and we get him swinging on a beautiful slider. Beautiful the way it just tailed out of the zone after being in the zone for a while. That's a hard one to lay off. Definitely need Logan Webb to catch his groove versus a tough team. Feel like they can help expel him to a great season, as the season is still pretty young. On the mound for the opposing team is Kyle Wright. And he's pretty much the opposite of Logan Webb. Good ERA. Both of them still have pretty shoddy records, being losing records at this time. But Wright is showing to give up more hits and have a little bit less of a whip than Webb does with better ERA. So really it's just about Webb not giving up the power like I was saying earlier. Quan does chase circle change outside, but gets very good barrel to the bat, barrel to the ball. It is able to squeak it just past the second baseman, Ozzie Albies, for first hit on our team. Looking at our starting lineup, in Harrison's Bader's first game. Not too many guys hitting for average other than Quan. And obviously big boy Eloy with that pop. He does get walked to first, leaving a guy on first and second. Definitely hoping Mitchell Haniger can continue his solid season. 1-1 count. Let's see what Kyle Wright's going to throw him. What a slurve. What a slurve. That's a heck of a pitch. Just didn't need to swing at it with a 1-1 count. No reason to waste a swing at a pitch that was that good. He does throw another slurve right down the middle. And what a hit by Haniger. We do send everybody back to the bases as we are slow on the base paths. We'll definitely take a 1-out single that gets the run in. Good pitch recognition. Sorry about that. Did hit the slurve right down the middle. Able to squeak it right past Olsen. Love to see it. I believe it's Olsen playing at third base today. Or it might be. Excuse me. It might be Vaughn Grissom. Harrison Bader's first at bat, as we're not too crazy about his bat. We know Harrison Bader isn't the greatest hitter. Gonna get some stolen bases. Gonna get some clutch timely hits when you need it. But he's not the best hitter. He's gonna hit 230, 240. We're really just looking for him to be that defensive stalwart. Having such a pitcher's park in Oracle Park, we need a great center fielder that can be rangy and catch everything needed. And that's what Harrison Bader provides. We go back to the sinker against Ozzie Albies, and it does lead to an easy out for Logan Webb to get him out of the fourth. As we have been cruising. Webb, other than that first inning, giving up that one hit, has basically been rolling through people. And we already got an early run to give us the lead. 3-1 count for our team as we do come back in bottom of the fourth. Lamont Wade Jr. does get a nice fastball. It's going deep, but it is going to land just in front of the Levi's landing zone for Acuna to catch. Just haven't seen that major pop from Wade this year. We know he has the power capabilities, but he's just not hitting. 3-2 count for Matt Chapman. Chases a sinker outside the zone, but gets very good wood on it. Love to see that. Love to see the good contact. Definitely don't like him chasing pitches, but we know Chapman, if he does get barrel to the bat, it is going to be a very hard hit ball. Bader's second at bat is a 3-2 count. Easy walk. Gets him on base to go along with Chapman. Back at it again. 1 out. Guy on first. Guy on second. And let's see what Joey Bart can do. And he's pretty good early on this season. Joey Bart's another guy that we're looking to see how he can improve this year with Patrick Bailey on his tippy toes as far as making the MLB roster, maybe taking his starting spot. He definitely has competition among his position. And with Joey Bart not being the greatest defensive guy, we definitely need that bat to show up and show why we drafted him as our first round pick a few years ago. 1-2 count for Kyle Wright. Bart does chase a terrible slurve, but it was a bad decision to throw it to the second base, as Bader does have that speed, trying to get that double play. He ends up getting nobody as Bart does leg out to first, leaving Luciano up. Our young phenom. Bases loaded, 1 out. Let's see what Luciano can bring to the plate. Hopefully drive in a run or two. All we need is something in the gap to maybe bring everybody home. High slider, a little late on it. But did get solid contact. Wright is already at 87 pitches into the fourth inning, giving up all these batters, all these walks. Definitely takes a toll on the pitcher's arm. High heat and couldn't capitalize on. 38 clutch is definitely going to make the situation a little harder. But that's why we have him batting ninth, as we do want to see Luciano improve on his reaction and fielding on the defensive side, as he has a strong arm, but the reaction isn't there. And we want to improve his batting. We do make a terrible base running blunder, and Bart isn't able to get back in first in time, and that is how we end the inning. Really can't say nothing. That was all on me, guys. I thought Luciano had good enough bat on it to get past the left fielder, but apparently it didn't, which caused me to leave everybody early. I mean, at minimum, we should have scored a run off the sac fly. So that's just terrible base running, guys. You know, it's really hard with this team. Got to try to be aggressive when you can when you lack speed. Man, I thought he had a good hit on that ball. Going down to the top of the fifth. I guess going to the top of the fifth. Logan Webb is still wheeling and dealing. Excellent sinkers being thrown to these lefty batters, as we do face an old teammate of ours in Michael Conforto, who is now on the Braves roster, who we got in that trade for Arcia last year. As we saw earlier, definitely seems to be panning out for us. Conforto struggling on this year.
Another one.
Gets out with a beautiful slider as Arcia is hitting 300. So definitely seems to be a worthwhile trade for us, panning out for us in the end. As we watch it on replay, look how beautiful that is. Conforto never had a chance. Gordon Luplow is now up. Normally a guy who terrorizes lefties, so we're not too fearful of him versus a righty and Webb. Beautiful changeup. I mean, Webb is doing his thing. He is showing why we are looking forward to paying this man the money, why he's doing fantastic in real life, and why we want him to be that solid number 2 to go along with Urias, as we do get another error, throwing the ball late and not getting enough on it. And we hate to see it. Hate to see it. All these defensive blunders are really killing our game right now. I don't know what this team is thinking defensively, but that was one of the things I did say we need to improve last offseason was the defensive side, which is why we got Harrison, which is why we got Chapman. Speaking of defense, fantastic players. We do able to leg out the double play to get us out of that ending. As we do take another look at the play, we do like to see that and need more of that, especially with Logan Webb being such a good ground ball hitter. Ground ball pitcher, inducing a lot of those ground balls. Like I said earlier, guys, Kyle Wright is at 100 pitches already to the 5th inning, so they are getting the guy warmed up. But he is wheeling and dealing as Eloy does chase a pitch to end the 5th. Getting to the top of the 6th. Those guys have all their good stuff working today. Outside sinker just missed. Definitely a tough one to lay off for Grissom. 2-1 count. Fastball right down the middle. Definitely can't have those pitches versus good hitters like that. Quan is able to make a pretty good relay throw to second to hold him at double. Excuse me. But we'll take it. That's anybody's first real action versus Webb since the first inning. I mean, dude hasn't allowed a hit since the first. That's pretty good stuff. We do start to warm up our own pitchers as we get Bummer and Miguel Castro, 2 of our new signings this year. One we got via trade when we signed in the offseason. Looking to warm those guys up. This is what we brought them in for those clutch innings. Help us get us out of jams. Got on second. Pressure's on, 2-1 count versus Ronald Acuna. Perfect time for the changeup. Got Acuna way out in front. Love to see that. So we get him again with the changeup, and it does induce weak contact. He was definitely looking for the fastball that plate appearance. Love to keep the good hitters guessing. Matt Olson, who's hitting .307 on the year. Definitely want to get him. He's a very important out. And then the sinker, filthy. Even Joey knows it. Pointing back at Logan Webb, letting him know that pitch was nasty. Here comes the fastball. What can you do? Dotted it up perfectly. High inside corner.
He's on fire!
As we watch it again on replay, my man is showing his you know what out today. He's doing his thing. Definitely love to see it. More strikeouts, more plays from the Webb slinger as he does induce weak contact to Webb. Runs to first base. Easy third out. Haniger, Wade, and Chapman are coming up next. Going up against Michael Fulmer, a veteran in the game so far. playing a few seasons already, pitching pretty well in his limited time. I think he's only pitched 14 innings, I think it showed. But we do see him. Wade does hit a homer to bring it to a 2-0 game, walk from Chapman, and we are here for the Bader show. Darth Bader, seeing what he can do. On first 1-1 count, that's single. That was a quick one. Came and went. That's why the swing was so slow. We do get a good slider, and those are two pitches, man. That was a tough hit. Continues Harrison Bader's tough day. Trey Bart is coming up now. 2 outs, 2-1 count. Thing, as you can see, Joey is third on the lineup, but he is sharing time with Gary Sanchez, so time really isn't there like that. 92 for mile per hour slider. You really don't see that too often, so definitely caught us off guard. And another slider right down the middle, and we just couldn't time it. 92 to 89. I mean, he got crazy fast slider. And that is going to be it for Logan Webb's day. As Kapler does throw up his hand, trying to get that web slinger out of there. Definitely love the outing though. Show good stuff. Pitch count just got up high. Lou Jackson does come in. 7 holds on the season, but the ERA is horrendous at a 6.55. Definitely hope he can just get through the inning and eat up some inning for us, eat up some time for us, as some of our other better pitchers are pretty tired from the last few outings, last few innings of pitching. 3-2 count from Jackson. Very good pitch. Gets the foul from Sean Murphy. And that's what I'm saying. The depth in this Braves lineup is insane. Acuna, Matt Olson, Murphy, all guys who can potentially be all-stars every year. And Luciano isn't able to make the play. Where we are able to see his defensive potential of what he can do, showing how rangy he is, making it a closer play than most people would have. Like I said, he gets that reaction in that field, and he'll start making plays like that more consistently. But we do like to see the potential as Albies does walk, putting a guy on first and second, and Luke Jackson throws it right down the middle. 97. Forto is hitting outstanding for runners in scoring position. So definitely one of the more lethal guys in this kind of situation. Curveball just wasn't it. Fastball coming. And he is able to get a pop-up with 34 speed. I don't know if he wants to test that. And he does. The throw was well short. Getting the guy 2-0. Now we got guys in the corner. Definitely have a chance to take that lead. Jordan Luplo is up, batting last in their order. Hoping Luke Jackson throw a good pitch, 1-1 count. Slider to perfection. Love to see it. Try to hit him another breaking pitch. And we induce exactly what we need in a double play. And Luciano isn't able to make the throw. He just beats it out to get that run in. Definitely could have been up. And that's what I'm talking about, guys. That could have easily been the inning. That's what happens when you try to give young guys a chance and just not there just yet. I really don't know why second baseman. I don't know why we didn't try to go for the bag themselves, try to help them out. Kind of left them out to dry there. But anyways, we do get another out. We do give up a run on the inning, making it a 2-1 game, making it a little more interesting. Arcia. Yeah, I don't know why Arcia didn't. That was weird. I don't know baseball exactly too well in that situation, but y'all tell me out in the comments. Should Arcia have came to the bag and helped him out, or Luciano should have done it himself? Anyway, Luciano is up to bat. Swing and miss against the slider. 1-2 count. hanger, and he is able to squeak it just past Matt Olson's glove. Nice line. Not really a lot of drive. A nice grounder. Nice hard grounder with it. To get through. Love to get in the lead off guy on. Garcia is up to bat. Quan did get out. And what a swing. Definitely hope he can do better than next at bat. Next play. And he is able to hit a cutter. He gets it very well. Gets it over the head. And somehow makes a crazy bounce over the fence. Keeping guys at second and third. Definitely very well hit ball by Garcia. And they're just gonna go ahead and walk Eloy. They know what big boy Eloy can do. It's an easy 3-run shot. Don't want to lose even more. Have even more of a disadvantage. You definitely want to take more of the lead. Hanger, this is why we signed him to the contract. At least this is why I think the Giants signed to the contract, as we also on his real life contract. This is why they signed him to it. For these clutch moments, situations, hoping to bring a guy on. Bases loaded. Slider is way off the plate, easy one to lay off. 2-1 count. Definitely looking to be patient in the situation as a walk will give a run anyways. Henry does get a solid hit on fastball. And we do get a guy scored. We get another man around. And 2 runs are in. And a man advances to third. Love to see it. Love to see it. Clutch at bats from Henry all game long. Not the power, but he's just bringing in runs when we need them. Man. That's all we need. That's all we need sometimes. Just to get the right hit at the right time. Giants baseball, baby. And then do take him out. Bringing in another reliever and Ian Anderson. One count for Lamont Wade, who already has a home run on the day. Definitely was looking for home run number 2 on that swing. One, 2 count. Definitely hope he throws him right on part of the plate. Definitely trying to hit with off speed. Definitely doesn't want to bring that fastball after what's been happening lately to it. 2-2 count. Raw speed. Definitely, we have Chapman coming up. Definitely love to see a bases loaded situation. Lamar can get this 23-2 count. And 2-seamer that just hits the corner. Couldn't recognize it until it was too late. And they are able to get out of that situation with no more runs scored. So 4-1 game still, top of the 8th. Bring in Miguel Castro. What a shot. But I guess we've been hitting some nice shots and hitting the right spots. No. But we've been doing well hitting through those line drives too. So that's the time we gave up on, as he does squeak it just past the third baseman. We need Miguel Castro to get his stuff working as he's throwing too far outside the zone. 3-1 count. Walks Acuna. I don't know. That might have been a good decision. Never know which way he has. Fantastic season. He might have hit a bomb shot on that one. But now he faces an even tougher batter in Matt Olson. Sinker. Excellent location. Definitely want to see more of that. He has good stuff, which is why we signed him with strikeout stuff. We just need him to get that control up and be able to hit the inside of the plate more. Just misses with the slider. Good discipline from Matt Olson. That definitely was a tough pitch to lay off. He's ready for that sinker. It was actually very late, or very early. So he definitely come with the off speed. It's the location, man. We want to hit the spots, but his control just isn't there. Which we kind of expected from him. We definitely want to be a little better in the situation. And he strikes him out. Perfect sinker down in the corner. That's what we want to see. What we want to see, which is thriving in clutch situations, both defensively And offensively, this is how you win ball games consistently as a good ball club. This is how you beat the good teams. Ozuna was only having a 0-3 game, hitting the ground out earlier. A 1-2 count, want him to continue his hitless day. And he is able to get a bloop shot. Nobody's able to advance, but they do have the bases loaded now. And that's Real Acuna. He's changed up his game. He's able to hit for more contact this year. It's not so much a power limit. John Murphy is up. We do keep Castro in, and he gets exactly what we need, which is a double play. Good pitcher from Castro. He recovered from his pitching that was pretty awful earlier. Let's be honest, he was just pitching too much out the zone. Has good stuff, like he's showing right here on the double play. Gotta be able to keep it in the play sometimes and be able to dot guys up early in counts so he's not forced to throw it over the plate in obvious situations. We are back from Vader in his first home game and his first game overall. Definitely want him to get a hit in it. Let's see what he can do in the bottom of his eighth. This probably will be his last chance chasing the high heat. Definitely will do that. Maybe he's just eager for his first day. Hasn't played since spring training. He got injured probably about halfway through spring training. Actually, towards the end, last week of spring training. So definitely been a while. Been a little rusty. He does get a good shot on the fastball. Definitely like to see the pop. Fortunately, he's just not far enough for Acuna. And he is able to reach over and catch the catch. But, I mean, honestly, he just hasn't had much of a day. But we'd love to see us winning. We know later on he'll be worth why we signed him. I mean, we only got him for $8.5 million. So that is a heck of a steal for a defensive juggernaut in the NFL at the center field position. Joey Bart does strike out to get the second out of the eighth as Ian Anderson is coming in and having solid relief with that 12. That 12-inch curveball being very filthy. We don't want to watch that again. Mistakes were made, we all know. Luciano does come up. Gets a good hit on the fastball, but can it get out of reach? And it does. 1-2 count. People man can get a hit. And he does strike out swinging to get us to that ninth inning. As the Braves did have pretty solid pitching, and it was just the Mitch Haniger show. We just got hits when we needed it. And as y'all know, it's Duval time. And that's easy timing as we do get the last out on a check swing that looks like he went. So on 1 Giants in Bader's first game to get us 1 game closer to 500. Love to do it for the fans, for the home team. Get them something to cheer about. Having a good day, even though the errors were a little unnecessary, but they didn't lead to anything big. Strong pitching outing from the team, especially Logan Webb to start the first 6 innings. Love to see it versus a very strong lineup, like I said at the beginning of this episode, like I said at the beginning of this game. We just got more clutch at bats. They got on, we got on. We just hit for better contact at better times. And that's really just baseball. If we check out some of the highlights, we see that it was the Mitch Haniger show. Just pulling the ball past third baseman, past the shortstop. That's all we needed. 3 RBIs on a couple hits. Definitely looking to continue that progress as we shift back into the regular season. Going up against the Padres now, definitely and also a very important matchup. Padres have players like Soto, Tatis. Definitely want to see how good our pitching can remain versus some good talent hitting wise. Yu Darvish is on the mound for them. As we do want to bring up, due to an injury, we do want to bring up our draft pick from last year, and Rich Blanchard. His only problem is his hitting, but his control is off the charts, so we're hoping he can come in, maybe get some solid outings, or at least at the worst, we can see what his progress might be. You know, what he might look like as a pitcher, because we all know on MLB The Show, ratings do matter. Some guys outperform their ratings and some guys definitely underperform their ratings. So we want to see what kind of guy he'll be. And we do call Boom Diego down as he wasn't doing the best in AAA, talking down in AA. See me making some of these changes. Ryan Murphy is having a solid season, but due to his C potential, it's kind of hard to see him making the majors. But if he could be a minor league monster, we'll take it. We can always look to be a replacement if somebody gets injured, because they always seem to happen. So you never know. As he is going up against a Parker in second, and he allows no runs. So I'm saying good pitching outing. Our first round pick Duvall does get a couple hits. Apostle gets a hit. A couple of RBIs from Duvall regularly. A lot of our young talent definitely popping off for us. And we love to see that. Great game. Only thing on 5 hits. Landon Rope is coming in for the AAA squad. And they get a 2-1 win there as well. Not too much on the hitting side, but Wisely does get 2 hits. Bailey gets a hit in 267 on the season. Nice steal. Rourke gives up 1 run. And look at that pitch at 2.95. Definitely looking at some guys pitching pretty well. Future looks bright. Speaking of the future, we do get right into the scouting. Definitely have been looking at third baseman as you want to improve in that area. Don't have much. And with us having a top 5 pick, definitely look at the number 1 overall selection just in case nobody picks him. Which we pretty much know he's probably going to go top 3 at worst with a Shelby Stoicidis. Also want to check out first baseman, and we really don't have nothing for the future as the Mount Wade is a deep potential, I believe, so he's not really going to be that much better. As I know at this time he's killing it in real life, but as of right now, in this reality, he's just a decent righty masher who can play first base and a little bit of outfield. But unfortunately, his ratings aren't panning off. He was good in the last couple of big shows. He's just not panning out right now. As we do want to take a further look at Shelby just to see if he is that true number 1 overall pick. Like I said earlier, just in case they don't pick, always want to look out and get that interest up early. As Diaz definitely looks to be one of our top guys, but we want to look elsewhere. Definitely don't want to fumble a top 5 pick. Diaz definitely looks to be solid with the power, contact, discipline, fielding. Everything looks to be all right on par. Darren Strong also looks solid. We definitely want to look into recruiting him. He looks above average at everything. Love to see that. Never know. Always looking for that generational talent. Rez looks like he has serious power. Definitely want to take a look at him as we're going to be looking to move on from Haniger in a couple of seasons as he is already well over 30 and looking to regress. We all know that wall of 35 that comes with MLB The Show. And then we need improvement in the power category, especially at first base, since like I said earlier, we don't have anybody in development other than Luis Toribio. He is still currently in the 60s. Not sure how long it's going to take for him to become a solid player, that legit starter that we might need. And at worst, will be a defensive replacement with some good vision, good contact on him. A lot of other guys good to look at. Frank Hernandez looks to be a stud. But you never know once you start recruiting, once you start actually scouting them, a lot of that stuff's going to change. But at least the archetype right now looks to be outstanding. So those are some good solid players that we want to take looks at. As we also want to start looking towards that second round pick, picking at pick 40, I believe, if we don't get that competitive balance pick this year. Catcher is also kind of a need, even though, I talked about Joey Bart and everything earlier. The same thing with the Toribio situation. We just don't know how long it's going to take for them to develop, and if they do develop to be big players. We don't want to wait forever for a guy just to be average or below average if we waited this long for him to fulfill his potential. So definitely want to still look for some catchers, some other guys as well. As you can clearly see where we're running worst at with shortstop, catcher, first, and relief starting pitching being some of the worst. Here it's a small spring, but it'll be alright. Blanchard pitched just fantastic in his first outing, it looks like. Berkeley gets 3 hits on the day to help bolster the win. Ball does get a double. Blanchard comes in and pitches a couple innings. That works for me. Everybody gets L's on Sunday, so it sucks. Logan Webb does pitch a scoreless outing to win 5-0 against the Angels. Bader gets a couple hits. McCray gets a hit, 4 hits from Estrada. Definitely needed that game for him. Gets a double in the RBI. In 263 on this early young season, McCray is balling though. And that's what we love to see. Like I said, Flores is that lefty masher. So I was looking to see maybe we need to make a change at the leadoff spot. But Vader isn't the best versus lefty, so I don't see much reason for happening up there other than he's a good base stealer. And McCray was hitting too well in the season, so I'm kind of stuck with a dilemma. But what I'll do is I will take McCray out, unfortunately, and have him as the best 6-man. It's just for basketball, best bench guy to come in and replace. Bader's defense is just too valuable. Quan has good defense plus the contact. I know McCray's hitting good right now, but I don't know if he'll sustain for the season. So unfortunately, we have to put him back on the bench. He definitely was a surprise, an unsuspecting starter. Definitely wanted him to do well in the majors, but didn't think he was going to do this well, this hot, this early. And what do you know? Harrison Bader's injured again. Looks like he'll be out a month or two. So the decision was made for me to put McCray back in the lineup as we get the 8-1 win to continue a pretty good win streak. Arsenal is at 2 games. We're out this cold with a 2.92. Definitely like to see that. I don't care if you cold pitching 2.92. That works for me. That means you pitching really well. That's cold. But due to the injury, we do have to bring Arias back up, as it doesn't really matter. We've already used this year of an option, so I'll also bring him back up so we don't use anybody else's, and he was playing pretty solid. Duval's hitting pretty well. My first round pick for the previous year. So we do make some adjustments. Like I said earlier, Toribio is a 61. And so this really is going to be a project I have to work on before it gets good. And Alton Baker, our 99 overall potential guy, is a 54. So he will definitely be someone interesting to watch to see when he will be able to make his major league debut, when he'll be able to show that potential, as it might take 5, 6, 7 years looking down the road, but at least we might have a guy for a couple of years, and he'll just be a phenomenal story for the franchise. I have some pretty key injuries, especially in the outfield, as Ramos is also injured for a month or two. Definitely want to keep seeing his progress. But right now, based on the season, it's really the Ohtani show. My man is leading the league in ERA, leading the league in home runs, leading the league in RBIs. He's a beast. At least on the NL side, as the only person who's even close to his dominance right now is McClanahan pitching under a 1. Like we showed previous episode, my man is ridiculous. Battle time right now is looking like for Jeff McNeil. Duvall looks to be up there for reliever of the year. Definitely hoping we can get an one for him. And Gallegos looks to be on the American League side. Pitching looking great too. Carl's Rookie of the Year, Jordan Walker. There's early in the season, and Caden Wallace. He's definitely looking slow, showing we look hot. Because A's are butt, and we really need some good players for them to help their franchise out, make it a little bit more playable for them. Don't want them to be terrible during this whole dynasty period for us. D. Lauder seems to be the number one prospect as of right now, coming out of the Cleveland farm system. As we look at the rest of the people, Brady Guerrero, Andrew Painter right out the top three, Marcelo Mayer, Jordan Lawler for the Diamondbacks, Kevin Contra, Madden Bronx for the Dodgers, just to name a few. Jackson Holiday's already 19th. Drew Jones is in there at 26. And Evan Carter, 32nd. As we did face him early on, episode Will Bednar, Daniel Espino, and our last guy on there is Rainier Reyes at 45. Nathan Mathers was a guy we was looking to draft last year, already in the list. I'm really surprised that Duvall hadn't made it on the list yet, with him being close to the same. I guess he is a little older, so I guess they do factor that in. After winning the series versus the Angels, we do lose the last game by 1 run. Both our minor league teams also taking losses as well. We do get the win in the AA, and then quickly switch it back over. 7-1 game, 2 hits for the ball as he is getting that average up. Love to see it. Home run from Matos. 3 runs right in. Great game for him. That's great. It's still hitting fantastic on 293. He's keeping it up. Only been 5 at bats since the last one though, so we definitely needed that. The way the rest of these guys are hitting, some hitting under 230, some hitting under 220. Nice to see the young gun Luciano and Bart having some pretty nice seasons, especially Luciano. Looks like he's catching fire at the right time. Elo is hitting exactly 220, but at least he's bringing the pop. We need more from him though. But he's another guy who was a steal, only having to get him for $8 million as well. Another shutout game for us as we get some dominating pitching. Getting a further look at both guys, they don't look to be as good on our draft board as we previously expected. And this is why you gotta look into them. Gotta go to a few games, see how they play. Especially when guys are asking for a $5.1 million bonus. And it definitely looks like he's going to be a great hitter with a strong arm. And Perez looks to have great reaction, great fielding, and some pop. So I'm not sure they're deserving of that top 5 pick. And maybe if someone lets him sneak to that second round, we'll snap him on up. Taking a look at what we need, we also need starting pitching as we're 13th. But a lot of guys are aging, so we are going to have to replace some of these guys and bring in some young talent to bolster up that future. Same thing at third base, as Chapman does make us 7, but we need to replace him in a couple of years as well, looking on to the future meanwhile. Definitely can see how good the scouts are. Out in the specialty, we have one person really good at pitchers, as this guy is, and McMullen. A couple other guys good at position players. Get around in the rotation. As we want to specify guys in our team ranking, we want to bring guys in that fit our system and fit what we think is going to make a good player. And that's why I keep going back to Darryl Strong. in the Netherlands. Looks like he could be a monster in years to come at 18 years old. So is Wando, but the hits and the strikeouts are a little bit lower. It looks projected to be top 10. Oh, excuse me. I thought we had a second round pick. We actually don't. We have a third round pick. The next pick is 80, so we definitely don't want to miss on this first round pick if we don't pick for another 74 picks. That's why, especially in these early to mid weeks, we want to focus heavily on the type of player we want in that first round pick, that top 5 selection. Looking at the catchers, doesn't look like too many are really worth a top 5 pick. Probably will get picked up in like the later rounds, second round, so there's no point trying to even scout them. Like I said, Diaz keeps popping up. He's one of those main guys. Valentine also looks to be a star athlete, star on defense, and he has some power. So we definitely looking to maybe look at him as a future guy. Baker looks to be a Byron Buxton without the power. Gonna give you guys a look, Jonathan. Valentine is a stud. Looks like he's above everything but contact, vision, and discipline. So definitely more of a guy who's gonna play the defense, but can't provide the power and pop like a Chapman type. Early years, especially even right now, Chapman was a monster. He's cooled off a little bit from an early start, but he's still doing pretty good on the season. Richard Wayne looks to be another solid guy as well. And just going through, and really that's why we keep looking at Diaz as strong. We're really looking for strong pitchers, and we need a first baseman. We need a first baseman for the future. I'm not sure if I can really wait on Trubio. Like I said, he's more of a project, and we really need some power in the lineup. We're our might, but a lot of guys we're going to lose. Like Henry helps us with that situation, A couple other guys are keeping us from being at 25th or 28th just because they have pretty solid power. Chapman, guys that are getting older that will be leaving, and we have to find replacements. Would you take a loss to lose a series versus the Brewers as you hit up against an on-fire Mets squad? Taking a look at the 3-2 loss, just no hits in it from anybody outside the middle of the lineup. That's where you get a couple hits, a home run. Luciano got a double. We've had 10 strikeouts. Pitched really well. We just gave up a run late in the game and lost. Tough as we do. And once a player allowed to take a look at some players, I think we're going to take a look at a struggling Estrada. Hit 236 on the season. Definitely was hoping for better things for him. That's why we haven't batting fifth versus lefties. Sorry. Hitting up against the Mets, 30-16. As we are still 3 games under 500. And as I expected, McCray is starting to cool off a bit. Hitting now in the 260s. Mets is a top 5 offensive team, top 10 pitching team. Definitely can see why they're 14 games above 500. Going into this game, I'm not really expecting much. Just want to really take a look at Strada. Hope we can have a solid game. As at this rate, looks like we're going to be having another top 10 selection. David Peterson is coming up on the mound, pitching a 4.38 instead of hitting a 4.38. But that'd be funny. As Francisco Lindor is up to bat, Estrada is playing at second today. Guy on second as well. 0-2 count. Let's see what Trevor Rogers can do. And he does induce a pop up to get him out of the first inning. Easy play. And that's why it's even more paramount that Estrada does a little better hitting, because he is just not the defender. Granted, second baseman is a spot where you can allow a little bit more defensive weaknesses, but with him being just average to below average defense, you really need that bat to show up, as he does strike out early on in the game. 2-1 game now, bottom of the third. Trevor Rogers going up against Pete Alonso. And it does get to Chapman, who throws it to Estrada. And we do complete a double play, as that is a good stretch by Wilmer Flores. And that's why we like to have him in the game. First two lefties. Great guy to come in, great guy to pinch hit. As we look at the fantastic play, look at that diving stop. Estrada, Chapman, great defensive play. He does induce a terrible swing by Estrada to pop up, getting him out of the fourth. And that's all that happened. Easy win for New York as they came back on us 9-4. As you can see, he's our relief pitcher, man. Trevor Rogers did give up 4 home runs, 10 hits, but then he gave up a run, 3 runs in the 7th, and another run in the 8th. Just can't cut it. We do take another look at it, and in the next video, guys, we will be taking a look at Will Bednar, our ace again, in his first start. Not first start, but in one of his first start early on in this season. As he is pitching a 3, and we're definitely hoping to bring him up in the next couple of years with that A potential. We need a strong righty after signing Urias, and we do have Trevor Rogers, Kyle Harrison, Carson Whisenhunt. The list of lefties goes on. So, catch you guys at the next round. Peace, love, blessings.